Imagine waking up one day to discover that death is no longer inevitable. No ticking clock, no final breath. The concept of mortality, the very backbone of the human condition, has crumbled beneath the weight of scientific progress. In this world, human beings can live forever, not in myth, not in metaphor, but in flesh and form, unbound by time. But what does it truly mean to be immortal? Would it be a gift, or a curse? The pursuit of immortality is as ancient as human thought itself. From the Epic of Gilgamesh to the elixirs of ancient alchemy, from the philosopher's stone to modern-day transhumanist dreams, the desire to escape death has haunted and inspired our species for millennia. But while our ancestors looked to gods and magic, we now turn to science. And the question is no longer if, but how soon. Modern science is unraveling the mechanisms of aging, piece by piece. We now understand that aging isn't just a passive wearing down of the body. It's a biological process, one that can be studied, slowed, and possibly reversed. The human body breaks down because of genetic mutations, telomere shortening, cellular senescence, and oxidative stress. Each of these mechanisms is being tackled by scientists around the globe. Gene editing tools like CRISPR are being used to repair genetic defects. Experiments in mice have shown that reactivating certain genes can actually reverse aspects of aging. Telomerase therapies are being explored to extend the protective caps on our chromosomes that deteriorate as we age. Senolytics, drugs that kill off aging cells, are showing promise in rejuvenating tissues. Meanwhile, caloric restriction mimetics, NAD+ boosters, and other metabolic interventions are helping us understand how diet and cell energy regulation relate to lifespan. But even if we conquer biological aging, that's just one piece of the puzzle. The next frontier is mind uploading, the concept of digitizing consciousness. Imagine scanning your brain at such a high resolution that every memory, every thought, every neuron, every synaptic connection could be translated into data and transferred into a computer. You could live in a simulated paradise, backed up, restored, duplicated. Is that still you, or just a copy? Would consciousness survive the upload, or would it be like a digital clone, empty of soul? Some futurists argue we won't need to upload our minds. Instead, advanced nanotechnology may keep our biological forms intact indefinitely. Tiny machines repairing damage at the cellular level, flushing toxins, replacing worn-out components. In essence, turning us into organic machines that never break down. Artificial intelligence could play a pivotal role in this future. A powerful AI might be able to solve aging faster than we can. It could model molecular interactions at a scale unimaginable to human researchers, simulate drug responses in billions of virtual patients, or design new forms of life optimized for eternal survival. And what about cloning, or even synthetic bodies? Could we grow new organs, or entire bodies, from our own DNA, and transplant our brains into them as needed? Or perhaps one day, brains too will be replaced, biological wetware merged seamlessly with silicon, giving rise to a new form of immortal, post-human entity. But immortality isn't just about the body or mind, it's also about time. What would it mean to live for centuries? To see empires rise and fall, technologies become obsolete, cultures evolve beyond recognition? Could the human psyche endure such change? Would we lose our sense of self, our drive, our purpose? Economies would be disrupted, retirement would vanish, inheritance laws would crumble, population control would become critical. If no one died, how would we make room for the new? Would reproduction become restricted? Would living forever become a privilege only for the rich and powerful, deepening social inequalities? Psychologically, humans are wired for endings. The fact that life is short gives it urgency and meaning. Take away death, and do we take away purpose? Would people become bored, nihilistic, detached? Or would they evolve into something new? A species unshackled from the desperation of mortality, free to explore the cosmos, the arts, and the inner reaches of consciousness forever? Religion and spirituality would face seismic shifts. Many faiths are built on the promise of an afterlife. What happens when that afterlife is no longer a mystery, but a technological option? Would spiritual awakening become obsolete, or would new forms of faith emerge, centered on eternity within this life rather than the next? The environment could suffer under the weight of a growing, undying population. Resources would be strained, waste would accumulate. Our planet, already burdened, might become unlivable unless we found a way to balance immortality with sustainability. Colonization of other planets might become a necessity, not a choice. Social relationships would also change. Marriage, till death do us part, would be redefined. Friendships and family dynamics could stretch across centuries. Imagine falling in love, breaking up, reconciling, and repeating that cycle over 100 years. The emotional depth, or damage, of immortal relationships could be profound. Laws, governments, and ideologies would be put to the test. Constitutions written centuries ago might not stand up to the needs of a society where citizens never die. Who gets to lead? For how long? What rights do the newly born have compared to the ancient immortals? Education would evolve. Lifelong learning would become literal. Imagine mastering every language, exploring every branch of science, experiencing every culture firsthand. An immortal mind could become the ultimate polymath, but could also be paralyzed by the sheer volume of knowledge. Art and creativity might flourish in unimaginable ways. With infinite time, artists could spend decades perfecting a single work. Cultural movements could last centuries. Or perhaps novelty would die, replaced by perfectionism and repetition. Ultimately, the question of immortality isn't just about possibility, it's about identity. Are we still human if we live forever? Or do we become something else entirely? A new species, Homo eternus, defined not by death, but by the eternal search for meaning in a life without end. Would you choose to live forever if you could? And if so, at what cost? The journey to immortality is not only about escaping death, it's about redefining what it means to live, and that journey has already begun.